Hi, welcome back to Revit for Construction Managers. In this tutorial, what I want to look at is the whole area of adding information to building elements, so whether it be walls, windows, internal walls, floor slabs, whatever the case may be. In this scenario, I'm going to look at external walls. So in order to do this, I'm in the ground floor plan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to annotate, I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to create a section. So just going to create a section through this window here. So I create this section, and I'm going to double click in here on the section. Now when I come in here, you can see that the level of detail isn't very good. So if I go down here, you'll see that it's a coarse level of detail. So I'm going to go to fine. It's asked me to save the projects. It does that every now and again. So I just press save. Okay, so it's a fine level of detail, and for my sections, I'm going to put them in as 1:25, and I know that because I've already done that on my sheets. So when I create my A1 sheets, 1:25 seems to work well for my sections here. So when I come in here, then what I want to do is I want to focus in on my element. Okay, so if I click on my element, I can see that it's a 415 cavity wall, 100mm insulation. So if I click on this, what I could do, and which I've done previously on other videos, is I've clicked on annotate and I've created text. So I put in text, and I put in maybe text for this here, which might be my internal or 215mm internal wall, and I could go on, do more here, and this would be my 100mm full fill insulation, and I could put another of 100mm external block. So now I'm starting to get, if you look at this, you can see, well, if I was to issue this to the builder or to someone who was doing a measure up on it, well, they'd be able to work out that, well, it's an the makeup of the wall. Okay. However, when I do it in this way, what you'll find is that the elements they're not intelligent elements, and they're not attached to the actual wall. They're just text sitting on their own. So if I wanted that to be text that would actually be attached to the wall, and this becomes very, very useful, what I would do is I would click on my wall. I would go into my edit type, so it brings me into my type parameters. Okay, and then what I would look at doing, and when in here, then I can put my information in under description. So if I put the information in under description, then that will stay wherever this wall type is used. So let's take, I'll type in my description here. It's a 215mm fair face block, internal leaf with 100mm high density. I'm using caps there. High density full fill insulation with 100mm external block and a 25mm smooth render finish. Okay, so I put that description in, and up here under type comment I have a 440mm cavity wall I could add a little bit more information, but I'm okay with that. So if I click OK here, okay, and then that means that the information that I've attached to that wall, that description, will go with that wall. So now if I want to see that in my actual section, I can go up to multi-category tag. See there? So this attaches tags to elements of multiple categories based on the shared parameter, and the shared parameter is the description. Okay, so I've created the description inside. So if I click on here and click here, you can see there that it's 40mm cavity wall, 215 fairface block internal leaf with 100mm high density full fill insulation with 100mm external block and a 25mm smooth render finish. So if I was to click on this here, then you can see that it's put in for the parameters, it's actually put in my type comment and it's put in my description. And that's exactly what I wanted to put in. And what I can do then is I can perhaps move this into another location. I'm just going to change this here to free end so that allows me to move this tag here. So now if I bring it into the center of my wall, I can see that there is on my wall. Okay. Now the glory of this is that I've created another section. So I've a section created elsewhere. So if I go into that section, I can again just go into my multi-category tag, and if it's the same wall, which I can see it is, what I can do is I can do the exact same thing. And because it's the same wall, if this wall type was to change later on, then this actual description would change. So if, say, we change the wall type, sorry, we go in here and we change this wall type. So if this was to change, we could just go in, change the description. So I'm just going to take out that fairface. Let's say we've changed it. We click OK. And you can see that description has changed. But more importantly, when I go into my next description, it's also changed. It's taken that fairface out of it. Okay, so that information is very much tagged with the wall. And that's where the advantage of this is, so that I don't have to do this every time. So if I add the description to different elements in, then they stay with that particular element. Okay, and if I want to put the description in as text, well then I'm going into my annotate, but rather than putting in text, I'm going into multi-category tags. I think this is very, very useful, and it's very useful for the project that you're doing. So what I would recommend that you do is that when you're doing your project, you put your information into edit type, and under description, you put in the description that you want to put in. Okay, I hope this is of some help, and I hope you use it on your project. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.